Do you like waiting in line or do you like shortcuts? If you do, you're going to love this video because I'm going to share my favorite hack for the calendar table. I call them offsets. Okay, I know it doesn't sound very sexy, but they're super cool and will make your life so much easier. We have covered a lot of ground on the ultimate calendar table, and now it's time for me to share my favorite hack. Let me set the stage. Here we are seeing a sales report for our favorite company, AdventureWorks, and this shows year-over-year comparison. But the comparison is misleading since we're comparing apples to oranges. The prior year has full 12 months of data, whereas the current year we only have data right now till September 7th. Let me just show you the real table. So as you can see, I'm going to pop it out so you can see it better. So for the prior year, all the data is coming in. So this one is coming from December 2016. But if you scroll down, the current year only has data kind of starting in September. And you can see this in the table, and you can also see it in the graph where the sales measure kind of stops in September. So what can we do about it? Instead of comparing apples to oranges, could we compare only year-to-date till September 7th in 2017 and 2016? Or even better, perhaps we compare only for completed months, January through August in the current year and the prior year. And of course, we want it all to update automatically. I mean, we could do this using a manual filter like this, but we don't want to go back and keep updating that every day. We're way too lazy, smart for that. Well, lazy is smart. Cue the ultimate calendar table. Let me highlight this section of the calendar table, which adds, amongst other columns, the future date column. And what it does is it draws a line in the calendar table using the current date. Before that date, the dates are marked as past, and after that date, they're marked as future. Now let's see how we can put this to use. So we're going to go back to our apples and oranges report, and we're going to use the future date flag. Let me zoom in on it, and I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to say I do not want to see future dates. So future date is not future, and now if I zoom out, you can see that the dates are at bar. So it's only showing me data till September 7th, both for the current year and the prior year. And of course, the graph looks better as well. It's not showing any of the future months. So that took care of the first scenario we talked about. But what about the second one, where we only wanted to see completed months? That's where the month offset comes into play. It's been defined inside our ultimate calendar table, and let me just show you how it works. When offset is 0, that marks the current month. Right now, we're in September 2017, so that's marked as 0. And offset increases for future months, and it decreases for past months. And of course, all of it updates automatically. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to call it the ultimate calendar table, right? And here's what it lets us do. I'm back on our apples versus oranges report, and this time, instead of using a future date, I'm going to use the current month offset. So I'm going to go here, and really if the current month is 0, and I only want to see the completed months, past months, I want current month offset always to be less than 0. So I'm going to apply that, and let me zoom out. And now you can see that I'm only seeing the completed months data. The data cuts off at August. And of course, what this lets us do is that it doesn't give us that partial month. Earlier, we were seeing September with only partial month, just 7 days of data. But now we see a clean cut. It's cut off at the last completed months. And again, it's going to update automatically. When the next month rolls in, when the September is complete, it's going to start showing September automatically without you having to touch or change any single thing. But these offsets can be a lot more fun than that. And we have in our ultimate calendar table, not just the current month offset, we also have the quarter offset and the year offset. And they work in a similar manner as the month offset. So 0 will always indicate the current quarter and is going to go up for future quarters, go down for past quarters. And year 0 indicates the current year, -1 for the past year, and so forth. So let's just play around. So here I have data for all the months that I have, and let's say I'm building a report where my customer has asked always to see the last 3 quarters. That's it, and it should automatically always update and always show the last 3 completed quarters. So for this, I'm gonna say last 3 completed, so it's less than or equal to -1 and less than or equal, greater than or equal to -3. And there you go. Actually, let me just put the quarter offset here so you can make more sense of this. Hold on one sec. All right, so I added that, and you can see that it's filtering using the quarter offset, but it's now giving me the 2017 Q1, Q2, and 2016 Q4. So, which is really from October 2016 to June 2017, 3 full quarters. Let's play with one other scenario. Maybe you want to build a report which always shows the current year. For that, I'm going to use the current year offset. And for this, I'm just going to say the current year offset is always 0 because 0 marks the current month. And as soon as I apply the filter, I'm seeing the current year, 2017, but it's automatically going to roll over to 2018 when that year comes along. So as you've seen, the possibilities are endless. And we've seen some examples using the current month offset and also using the quarter offset and the year offset. You can of course also add a fiscal year offset and use that in a similar manner. You can also add a week offset, and let's say you want to always show a report which shows the past 10 weeks. And more, it's up to your imagination. At this point though, I have to issue a warning. Now, when you hear show me the past 3 months, past quarter, past 10 weeks, you may have heard the same phrase when writing DAX measures. Do not confuse these two approaches. They are, apples and oranges. The offset technique that I just showed you is useful for filtering an entire report, a page, or a specific visual for the time frame that you want. DAX measures, we've seen that before in the time intelligence lesson inside the course, where we use DAX measures to calculate over past 3 months, 9 months, so forth, essentially a rolling period. You can revisit that if you like. So that's it, my friends. I've shared one of my favorite calendar tricks with you. Offsets are super cool and super useful. But can you do me a favor? If you think of a less boring name than offsets, let me know. In the next video, we'll cover how to make our calendar tables dynamic. Hey, keep watching more videos and keep learning Power BI. But if you did enjoy this video, I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Power on, my friends.